Good morning, everyone. So here is Dr. Gao Fang, Assistant Professor from the Department of International Education and Lifelong Learning at the Education University of Hong Kong. I think globalization means everything to me. And it means everything to everyone who lives in the era of globalization. So our life has completely been affected by globalization. As far as tertiary education is concerned, I think globalization has enabled today's universities to transcend national borders and made internationalization a shared vision for universities. I think it is important for our students and for our education system as well. Because in the past, I think students had to learn the national history, national culture, national language, okay? But today, in addition to that, students have to learn how to live with each other, live with others who come from different cultural, national backgrounds. And they have to learn how to navigate and thrive in a complicated, interconnected world. Okay, since I joined the university in 2014, I have been teaching three courses, General Education Foundation, Sociology and Philosophy of Education. So in my courses, I design and teach my courses by including global elements. So the purpose is to deepen students' understanding of global elements, global issues. And also, I think you observe that too, there is an increasing number of international students, right? Exchange students and students from mainland China on our campus. So I try to promote the sharing of their experiences with each other and encourage students to see the global world through other experiences, through other eyes, and emphasize the importance of diversity, mutuality, reciprocity, and partnership among people in the world. Both are very important, I think, I agree. External curricular activities are very important for our students. Because, in my courses, a majority of students are in their first year of higher education. And I observe, based on my observations, I think their knowledge regarding global awareness, global issues, is very limited, So most of them, actually, many students enter university without experiences with diverse peers or classmates. So the university, both the curriculum, the formal curriculum, and the informal curriculum provide them the first opportunity, to experience, to interact with peers from different cultures, values, and experiences. When they first arrive, very interesting observation is because this year I was assigned to teach a group of part-time PhD students, So they are frontline teachers teaching in local primary schools, And now I noticed that because the students share with me their teaching experiences, so in their classrooms, more and more students are non-local, non-Cantonese speaking students right now. So the teachers now become eager, to learn how to deal with the diversity, how to address the diversity. I think slowly and gradually, yes. So, today's, I think, students are no longer students starting living in the ivory tower, So they are pretty aware of global issues, intercultural phenomena surrounding them, such as, Belt and Road, democracy, universal suffrage in Hong Kong, children in poverty, human rights. Yeah. Very interestingly, like I said, a majority of my students are in their first year of university education. I had a group of students. I taught them actually 2 years ago, and I teach them again this semester. Several minority students in the classroom. But I observed they stick with each other. Yeah. And I asked them why, because I interviewed them for my own research projects, So I asked them why you always, interact with each other, why not just, step out, and talk to Chinese students, I think they talk about something about language, language barriers, So Chinese students are not really good at English, and minority students are sort of lack the knowledge of Chinese, so they feel hard to interact with each other, on some topics, more than weather, food, yeah. So that is probably one of the reasons why you see minority students stick with each other and Chinese students come together, and students from mainland, they come with each other together. I think language plays a big role, and also probably some culture issues as well. Like you don't understand each other's culture, history. So probably you feel hard to engage in very constructive conversations. Right, I think so, yeah. As I said, so over 300 courses, including global elements in formal curriculum and extracurricular activities such as Culture Week. So through those activities, the students have the opportunity to experience, to encounter other cultures, values, traditions. Yeah. Right. I remember it has been incorporated into the university's generic intended learning outcomes, right? So I think it's just time, for each single instructor to innovate their own curriculum and instruction for fostering a culture of global awareness on campus. But I do think, technology and financial support is very important. I think at the tertiary level of education, both formal curriculum and informal curriculum are very important, to foster a culture of global awareness among our students, on campus. Why I say so, because I used to teach, sociocultural issues in education, to Year 1 students, one of the topics is about equity in education. So based on my research, because I would like to link my research to my teaching, I share with students about South and Southeast Asian minority students' experiences in local schools, and the students, many of them seem to, observe the problems as a trouble, They tend to avoid those students in their future classrooms, because they feel challenging, difficult to address the diversity. But that is a tendency. That is the future in Hong Kong based on the growth rate, the birth rate of local students as opposed to minority students. So they have to face the question. So that is why I said, both formal curriculum and informal curriculum are important, because through the formal curriculum and instruction, I think, university teachers need to share with students and equip students with the global awareness of diversity, equality, human rights, in teaching. So that could be seen as a obligation or responsibility for our university as an education university. Well, I think so. Number one, they can include topics about global elements. They can talk about the topics young kids are familiar with. Something like environmental pollution. I think even the young kids, they are aware of that. Also, I think the teachers have to teach the students how to see difficult things, or challenging issues through multiple perspectives. That is very important, because I remember through the Occupy movement, there was a TV news, and there was a primary school teacher, I think, or even kindergarten teacher. I'm not quite sure, And actually, she openly shared her experience, openly shared her opinion on local policemen, with the young kids, just by saying one sentence, police is bad, I think that is really something, that should be done, by teachers. The teachers should share the students, from a variety of perspectives, not just, inculcate, opinion into the young kids' minds, So that is multiple perspectives, a diversity of opinions is very important. So you see, that could be seen as a through tree, right? So it means what students have learned in university, must be applied into their daily teaching. Otherwise, it must be useless, if they continue to copy what has been doing over years, So innovation is very important. I think so. That's the tendency, right? Also, the new liberal ideology of education. And I think the universities today just need to keep a balance between recruiting more and more international students and exchange students to make the campus more internationalized and innovating its own curriculum and extracurricular activities as well to promote global awareness among a variety of student population. Both of them are very important, but it seems a certain number of universities are focused on the first one and more or less avoid or ignore the second point. I think they just need to keep a balance between the two.
Any general points?
Well, the last point, but I would like to emphasize over again. I think our institute, does play a leading or has to play a leading or active role in promoting global awareness, among pre-service and in-service teachers.